Hello, my friends. Love spending this time with you. New year, new beginnings. But the truth of the matter is, there will be the opportunity to start new things all throughout the year. And with the best of intentions, at times we don't always succeed. So I would like to share some things that I do that help for me to stay on point and perhaps can help you today. And sometimes it's just where to start, right? So some things can be obvious. You may not like your job, you are looking for a new place to live. And then there can be other points where you know something needs to change, but you're not too sure what. And it's easier than you think. So what you do is there's something known as cognitive dissonance. And what this means is that the way that you're living, if it runs up against your values, what you believe in, you feel a restlessness inside. So say, for example, you start working for a company, and if you're like me, you love the environment, you want to try to help the trees and the animals, and you find out that this company is dumping garbage into the ocean. And staying there for a stable paycheck, you say, well, it's not me directly that's doing it, but ultimately, it would begin to bother you. There's this disconnect, this dissonance between what you truly believe versus supporting, in this case, an employer that is flying in the face of your truth. So begin to look within yourselves. Where is there a sense of restlessness? You might have repeating dreams that even have this. And once you sit down with this, you can say, okay, what is it that I am doing or is around me versus what I feel that I need, what is within me. So this is the very first place. It's just picking a starting point. And don't overwhelm yourself. Just even if you're on a run, write them all down. But don't feel pressure that you have to start them all at the same time, because otherwise you get into the hazard of starting 20 things, maybe finishing maybe one. And going forward from there, it's important too to check out your beliefs. So the reason why I find when I'm talking with so many people that come to me to help them to get unstuck is because as people, we are based on following pleasure or pain, even if it's unconscious. So most people run away from pain and will run towards pleasure, or at least something that's less painful. So what happens a lot of times is that the idea of starting something new is so big, so unknown, that it can be considered to be fearful, again, and the change of growing there to be painful. And that pain and that fear is considered to be less than the pain of staying where you are. And so that when that happens a lot, where deep down inside, again, you feel the dissonance that we talked to you before, you know better, you have this restlessness, but you go, oh, well, this relationship will be better. Oh, this job will get better. And I'm not saying that you have to cut and run immediately, but this is after you've honestly given it a try, you've thought it out, or maybe it wasn't a fit to begin with, and you're trying to force fit it. And you can dismiss it or justify anything. We can justify anything, because the idea of, well, it's not that bad, or it might get better. And before you know it, months and years can pass, and you're still stuck in this place of unhappiness, this place of just feeling that you're not living your life to the fullest. So you need to begin to shift that viewpoint, that idea of the future, and breaking things down into small steps and getting the supports that you need helps to make it less fearful, that it's more pleasure to be found there, and it's less painful than staying where you are and watching the years go by. And in order to do this, you need to come with yourself and have that moment of being compassionate with yourself. In other words, in order to be able to make these changes and being able to ask for the support that you need and being able to articulate that, is being honest about your strengths and weaknesses. But in order to do that, you need to approach it that this are just facets of you. Your strengths and weaknesses are not value statements or worth statements of yourself as a human being. They just simply are. So when you can embrace your strengths, but you may not know how to apply them, you can begin to ask for help for that. If there are certain weaknesses or places where you find that you need different support or direction, and you're honest about that, you can seek help about that. And with that, that is a tremendous, tremendous help for those who you're asking for guidance or assistance, because they don't have to feel that you are in a space where they can't give you honest criticism. And we've all been there where somebody asks us for our honest opinion because they can take it, and we're like, you don't want to be walking on eggshells. So when you approach yourself with that, hey, this is me, always room for growth and improvement. These are aspects of myself. And with that, I have the ideas of how I'd like to live and my goals. And then you can approach yourself and in turn others with guiding them, asking them how to help you. And it makes things a lot simpler when you take away that idea that this is a pass or fail, or somehow this talks about your value. No, things are what they are. And I have to say this, we talked about also shifting it from having, again, as people, we will go to something that's less painful or hopefully pleasurable. And something that I love to do, I like to find the joy in every day. And I'm one of those folks that even if it's a big project, there are points where I need some immediate satisfaction and rewards along the way. So find out what motivates you. So really what motivates you, so it's not just a factor of, oh, when I hit this goal or when I hit this stage in this relationship. So for some people, it's money. For some people, it's that idea of being recognized. For others, it could just be the idea of having freedom. So what you do is that you go with that bigger goal, again, weaving this into your lifestyle, weaving it into the end result that you want. But along the way, knowing these little things about yourself, you place them. So for me, I personally enjoy just the idea of being able to have that freedom, that if I complete a step, I can have the freedom to make a video to be with you. I can enjoy being outside in the sun, talking to a friend. So, and the immediate satisfaction for the small steps, say if I complete this task, I can check it off my list, I can see what I've written. So don't dismiss that while you're working towards something bigger and long term, that these little rewards are encouragement, acknowledging what motivates you so you do it all along the way, not just waiting till the end, is this way of it empowers you, it invigorates you, and here's that pleasure principle, right? It's like, oh, well, if I complete this task, I get to have my favorite cup of tea. Oh, if I complete this part of my project, there's a satisfaction that I feel, and it opens the door for me to go to the next stage and meet more people. So when you begin to break it down into that, the steps, and incorporating the rewards, plus the flavor of what motivates you, you're going to find that you're going to gain a momentum that you will not want to stop. And it's how can I say, it is such a wonderful way to approach things versus, here's, for me, a list is fine, but unless if I really can see the short-term and long-term satisfaction of getting there, I usually won't finish it. But if I feel that sense of support, if I feel that sense of reward all along the way, good day or bad day, then I want to continue, and you'll find that you will too. And I guess as a closing thought, what I'd like to say is as well, remember that when you are at a place of dissatisfaction in your life, when you have the sense of dissonance that's going on and just realizing that something needs to change, be patient when you're going in a different direction, when you're making improvements in your life. So how did you get here? One day at a time. How do we get out of here? One day at a time. great news. If it's something that maybe you've done for 5, 10, whatever amount of years, it's not going to take you 5, 10, 20, same amount of years to be able to move in a different direction. But what happens is that the more that you desire the change, the more of a contrast it is between where you are, where you want to go, and the impatience can match the level of anticipation. So remember, when you're trying something, the bigger the change, the more, and I'm going to say perseverance, because perseverance is, I'm going to say well thought out action, plus the patience to follow it through. Have that patience. Maybe something will take more than a week or a month. Maybe if you want to start a new business, overnight success takes about 5 years. If you're building a relationship takes cultivation, and a deep one deepens over years. So with that, don't get disheartened. Keep that enthusiasm. But if you don't get that instant change, then don't drop it, unless okay, I'm here and it doesn't suit me. But that's why for me, I'm one of those people that I need those rewards along the way. I need that sense of being able to be in my own self and space, that playful part of me every day. And even though something's a chore, I know that my reward is there. It helps me to continue. So remember, when you do changes, they're going to be incremental, one step at a time, one foot in front of the other, one day at a time. Again, great news. The time of change doesn't have to take as long as when that square one, it took X amount of years, could be a lot shorter. And pace yourselves. Pace yourself. There could be the desire, that urge to change it, everything all at once as quickly as possible. And typically that'll be burnout. I'll be honest with you. So when you are pacing yourself, when you are allowing yourself to rest, to reward, to be supported along the way, and easing into your journey of change, easing into the journey of making that new beginning a new reality. Before you know it, you'll be there and you'll have success. And I want to thank all of you for supporting me so much. I'm close to 500 viewers, and it's just amazing. And for those of you who subscribed, and if you haven't, please do. And I'm very excited for this coming year that's here, this year of 2023, developing different meditations and so forth. We're just about getting the technology ready. And I would love to hear what you would like for me to talk about, what types of meditations and things that you'd like for me to do, because how can I say? As I guide you, you guide me. So until the next time we have the pleasure of being with each other again, Wanishi, bright blessings. Till then.